And once you give something to God, it's Him who makes your way successful. And that's exactly what's happening for me. Cut it out.
Okay, we're here at Pink Maison with Miss Jessica Robinson from Laura Faye. We just wanted to get to know her a little bit, to see a little bit why you created these beautiful bags and where you're headed and where you're going. So what's been some of the inspiration? Can you tell the people a little bit about yourself and who you are?
Yeah, so my name is Jessica, and I am the creative designer and CEO of Laura Faye. I'm a self-taught leather handbag seamstress. I've been doing it since 2013, more consistently since about 3 years ago.
Okay.
My brand, I teamed up with Pink Maison, and it's like one step after the next, and I'm planning on taking it to the next level. I have a lot of things in store, so.
Okay, so you've been doing this since 2013.
Yeah.
Self-taught.
Yes.
Okay, so
Self-taught after school.
After
Yeah.
school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what does Laura Faye stand for?
So Laura is actually my mother's middle name, and Faye is my grandmother's name. Most people email me and call me Laura. I've just accepted that.
But your name is Jessica.
But my name is Jessica, yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
why did you get started making these bags? Like what, I mean, they're beautiful bags. How did you get started in this?
So I went to school for fashion merchandising. I've always been into fashion since high school. And then after I graduated, I was working in retail, and then I got an internship, which led to me partnering with someone to start making jewelry.
Okay.
And then once that partnership dissolved, I just started teaching myself how to make handbags. I actually borrowed a sewing machine from my mom's friend.
Okay.
And I went to like Joann's and got some like vinyl, like faux leather, and went on YouTube and was like, okay, how do I thread this machine? Like literally taught myself from scratch and teamed up with a couple of different boutiques and throughout the way, ups and downs. But yeah, here I am with this huge like industrial machine in my house in this my whole sewing space, and here we are.
Here we are.
Making leather bags.
Yeah, those are some nice bags.
Thank you.
I'm gonna grab this one here.
Yes.
Now, can you tell me what bag is this? I've never seen nothing like this. This is pretty cool here.
Thank you. This is actually called the bucket bag. The pink and hand me the pink and red one.
Okay.
This is actually the first installment. This I dropped for Valentine's Day last month. And so, as promised, this was the first installment. So the black two-tone, yeah, and then the blue, it's also two-tone.
Ooh, that's a blue leather back there?
It is, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, these actually I just finished this week, so they'll be available on laura-faye.com this coming week.
Those right there.
These are brand new, and this is just kind of something I was like, let me do something different. This is actually an original design. Since I rebranded last summer during COVID, I came up with this. It's called a mini clutch, and I love this bag, but I wanted to kind of branch off and do something different, so here are the bucket bags.
So you said 3 years ago you got locked in and you went into gear. So what happened that got you locked into gear 3 years ago?
3 years ago, my whole life changed. I moved back home to Tennessee. I was living in Virginia, and I just was like, if I'm gonna do something, it's time to do it now. So I just was like full throttle since I've been back in Tennessee. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're full throttle because I met you at the Miguel Wilson Polo Classic, and you were moving bags easily that day.
Yes, and that was my first show since COVID. Since I rebranded during COVID, like rebranded, relaunched, and so that's when I met you. And I mean, they were selling like crazy at that show. Yeah,
hotcakes.
Yeah.
So you did that. I know you did that show. You came and did the Culture Park Expo, but you had that relationship with Pink Maison. What happened with that relationship? How did that get started? What does that look like?
Yeah. So actually, the day I met you was the same day that I met Rose.
Okay.
And she just walked up to me and she stopped, and I don't even think she was gonna come that day, but she was like, I love your bags. And she was just inquiring about my brand, and she was like, we need to get you on a bigger platform. She was like, these need to be seen all over the world. And she was like, here's my card, give me a call. and I gave her a call. And I think I was supposed to come down here and meet with her, but one of us got COVID, and we did like a virtual interview, and it was like bam, bam, bam. And she will always kind of make it known that she doesn't do a lot of accessory brands in the showroom. So I'm really blessed to be like the only handbag brand here. Yeah.
And so what else have you done? What else has come from that relationship?
Oh, well, since she's also the editor-in-chief of NYSFE magazine, the cover release for their new edition, I think it's volume 9, launch. The release party is tonight, but I have a full page in their magazine. Yeah,
Very
so
nice.
Aaliyah J is on the cover, and I'm so excited to have met her at Fashion Week last month and to be in this magazine. So this is like my first like official magazine page.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a little ad in Life and Style magazine from a couple years ago, but this is my first page.
So you got a full page.
I got a full page. Yeah.
So let's say I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm just getting started. What would you tell me as I'm getting started? How would you motivate me? How would you inspire me to keep going? Because it sounds like you started in 2013. 3 years ago, you said I'm gonna get serious about this, and then after COVID, you took that risk, and then boom, boom, boom. It's just lined up for you. So
yeah, I would say Candy Burris, she's like the entrepreneur extraordinaire, and she has said something that really stuck out with me. That is, my life is just kind of a testament to this. She said, "It's not the person who is the most talented; it's the one who works the hardest." And so I think it's just all about hard work, especially like now. People really don't want to work. Like, people are kind of spoiled. And I was spoiled, too, for a while. I'm not even going to lie. I come from, like, a family of entrepreneurs. My dad is a very successful entrepreneur. My mom was an entrepreneur. But I kind of just get that work ethic from watching my dad. And just being like, okay, time does not wait on anybody. Yeah. And you can see somebody out here doing half the quality of what you're doing and having more success because they're working harder. Yeah. And you only have one life to live, so it's like, go for it.
So put the work in.
Put the work in.
Put the work in.
Yeah.
So have you made it to New York? You said something about New York Fashion Week. Was that through Pink Maison, or was that through people just seeing the bags? How did that work out?
Yeah, no. So Rose, she extended an invitation for me to attend Fashion Week, which was really, really cool to be able to see other designers and see their stuff on the runway. More so for me, because I'm the type of person, even as a designer, I don't get inspired by other designers. I really don't have to be at every fashion show. I really don't. And like, I learned from being at Fashion Week, I really loved the experience, but it was more so an opportunity for me to sit down and watch these shows and be like, okay, this can be me. Yeah. As opposed to like, of course I'm admiring other people's work, but it's more so like, okay, so I'm just taking notes of like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. Like, I can easily be doing
you taught
this.
Yourself, so I mean, you probably just get in the room and you can pay attention and you're observant and see how you need to move. So
that's that's kind of always been.
That's always been how you got
me.
Yeah. Okay. What would you say to people? I know that other people consider about being in Pink Maison or can have the chance to be in here. What would you say to them if they're considering?
I don't know that I would need to say much because there's been a few people who have already made connections and relationships with Pink Maison just off my introduction. I think that it's more so about the vibe being right. If you come into this space and it's a good fit, then make it work. And if it's not, then God has something else for you. And this is just what He had for me right now.
Okay, great. So I'm a big quote person. I like the quotes.
Yeah.
So I know you gave us a Candy Burris quote, and I appreciate that. But I want a quote that inspires you, that gets you going, that you can leave with the people to kind of give them a little taste of you, but to give them a little bit of juice as they watch this. 100%.
This is actually a quote that my mom has said to me, and I've just kind of adopted it. And it's so simple, but it's so true. It's just, to thine own self be true. And I just turned 35, and there really couldn't be more true. It's like when you're making your way in this world and kind of carving out your own path, you're only going to be successful in authenticity by being yourself. And that's what's going to take you the furthest when you don't have anything else to rely on or anybody else to kind of feed off of, which is kind of why I don't do inspiration from other places, because when it's organic, when you're true to yourself, when it's your natural personality, you're not trying to impress anybody, when you're just you, people gravitate towards that. If you build it, they'll come.
Yeah, I definitely think just from hearing you talk and like to your own self be true, like you had to be true to this because you've been in it since 2013, so that's like almost 9 years in the game.
Yeah.
And then you made the choice to say, I'm going to teach myself. And I think that's probably the biggest thing is I think sometimes people are always waiting for somebody to teach them. And it's like, if you're hungry for it, if you want it, like you said, nobody's going to outwork you. People are working hard. Go learn it yourself. Yeah,
and you'd be surprised what you can do if you just sit down and actually say, I'm going to execute a thing. You really would be surprised of how far you can really go.
Execution is worshipped. Yeah. And that's what I think a lot of people have ideas. But if you can execute on them, and like it's clear you've executed, and I know you have the men's wallets and everything like that, but it's clear that you've just been executing. And so I'm just really grateful and thankful that you just made the time to show us some of your work, to sit down with us, and what's next? What can we be looking forward to in the future? How can we find you? Things of that nature.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me that because I'm so excited. So while I was in New York, I was able to meet with a manufacturing company. And so I've been making these bags myself since I started, just me and my machine.
Your hands okay?
My hands are all right. They've come up, yeah.
They don't look like they've been cut up too bad.
They do get cut up, but I maintain them well. Okay. Massages and manicures and stuff. But I'm really excited to move more so into just CEO role and be the businesswoman that I'm supposed to be and just fill my time building my business versus sitting behind the sewing machine. I can pay somebody to do that, and that's what I'm about to do. So while I was in New York, I did meet with a manufacturing company. It was really important for me to have them made in the USA. And I can proudly say that this summer at the NYSFE Summer Explosion Fashion Show, you will see a whole new Laura Faye bag, and this is actually the bag that I have been dreaming about making since I launched my brand.
All right.
And this is just a complete representation of like the Laura Faye bag, almost how you would identify like Telfar from like their logo and like their bag. Like this will be my bag. And so
I don't need no Birkin. I don't need none of that. I just need that Laura Faye.
I mean, you can have a variety, but you definitely have to have your own Laura Faye collection.
Okay, I'm going to have to go get the collection.
Get the collection. So, yeah, this summer, it's going to be exciting. I'm excited to debut those bags.
I'm excited to see them as well. So how can we find you? How can we follow you? How can we support you? Tell us about that.
Yes, so you can shop Laura Faye at laura-faye.com. I'm on Instagram at Laura_Faye, and that's LAURA_FAYE. And also Pink Maison, their Instagram, and the NYSFE Instagram. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
And one more question. Just because it's me. What's something that just gets you going outside of this? When you're not designing, when you're not doing bags, what do you do?
To be honest, my favorite thing to do is go to church. Like, it really is.
Go to church.
I love my church. Like, we have such a good time. I'm there like 3 days a week. And my life really revolves around like my son, my business, and like my church family. And like hanging out with the friends that I've made. And just talking about the Lord. You know this.
Well,
encouraging people.
He is good. You have encouraged me in the Lord before, and
yes.
I have appreciated it.
Yes.
And I hope that you see people who are watching this that it's about faith, right? And like your faith has taken you this far. You've had the faith to be able to keep going, and so I just want to encourage people that I know you personally. Your relationship with the Lord is very strong, and that's something that you really focus on. And so, for those of you who don't have a relationship, take time to explore that and see where it gets you, because you can't have faith without a relationship.
Yeah, and I really infiltrated that into my brand because my grandmother, Faye, was a praying woman. I had a praying grandmother. And my mom, Annie, her middle name is Faye. I mean, her middle name is Laura. So the foundation of like where the inspiration, even just to launch this brand, came from. It's like be true to your roots, have something that means something, and watch it succeed. And then once you give something to God, it's Him who makes your way successful, and that's exactly what's happening for me.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for your New York launch, and I'm going to catch you in the magazine.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited just to continue to see you grow. I think you're the next $1 billion brand. I don't think we're going to be talking about Birkins in a long time. I think we're going to be talking about Laura Faye.
Absolutely.
So I'm so grateful, but thank you for this time.
Yes,
my name is Preston Harris. You can find me at www.prestonrharris.com, and thank you for the time.
All right. Bye.